Hello everybody, this is Reggie Time here, and I just want to take a quick look at a hand I played early today. It's a blind versus blind spot against an unknown player in the 888 30NL snap pools. The player, just to give the information I had at the time, is an unknown UK player. He's playing full stacked, so he might be a regular. But with me not knowing him, I think it's less likely he's going to be a regular, more likely he's just going to be a recreational player. This was played on the bank holiday Monday. It's more likely he's just going to be recreational. He's from the UK. So I'm going to make some basic assumptions that he won't be a particularly good player. Now that's a very broad assumption because he might just be a regular who's really good and I just don't know him yet. He might just have moved to the site. He might be a regular that's just like opened another account, a different skin to do some bonus horror. There's lots of ways he could be a regular. But I'm going to make the basic assumption to begin with that he isn't, due to his location and the fact that I'm not familiar with his name. So, in 4 round to blind versus blind, we make a very standard open. He defends as you would expect people to do quite a lot, blind versus blind, and we catch a pretty good flop for us. I don't see about these board textures very often whatsoever. Even when I've got if I've got ace king or ace queen or something here, I wouldn't see bet. If I had like a big overpair, I would probably see bet. I would probably see bet flush draws too. It's not a board I'm like just always see betting, and I think it's nice to have some hands like this that we want to check call with sometimes too. Some like decent top pair hands that have some backdoor equity too. We don't always have to see bet all the time we make top pair. I think this isn't the worst spot to take a check call in on the flop, but it does kind of lead us to some bigger problems later in the hand due to our hand being slightly under-repped, I think. So he bets, we make a very easy call. The turn comes a total brick unless he had ace-6 or something like that, 6-5, something like that, which it can definitely have. It's not a total brick, but it's brickish enough. It certainly doesn't worry me. So we check again. He ups his bet size a little. He bets it 337, which is a chunky size bet into that pot. But again, I think our hand's way too strong to fold at this point. I think our 10 can be good a decent amount of the time. If it isn't good, at least we have some good shutouts and we can hit a 10. So yeah, if we're behind, we're drawing thin. But I don't think we're behind like enough of the time to make this a fold just yet. And we make the call, and then we get the complete river brick with the brickiest of bricky rivers. If you ever wanted to think of a river brick, it would be an offsuit deuce on a board like this. Absolutely nothing gets there with that deuce except pocket deuces, which come on, it's so unlikely to have that, so we don't have to worry about it. So the question now is, and I'd like you to think about it before you see his bet size, is would you bet here? If you would bet, why would you bet? Think about what you're trying to get some value from. Think about if you're trying to make something better fold, which seems unlikely. If you wouldn't bet here, what kind of size would you feel comfortable calling if you check and he bets again? And what do you think his range looks like on various different bet sizes? If we checked here, he bet 4. Would it look stronger or weaker than if we checked here and he bet full pot? So just have a little think about before you see what happens next. Just pause the video if you want to, and just have a little think about what your line would be here if you checked. What kind of sizes would you be comfortable with, and what sort of range would you put him on for different sizes, for that different sizes that he uses. So if we do scroll it on, we do check again, and he just bombs into us for pot. So now, based on what you thought about your sizes and what you would think we're doing, now you've actually seen him bet pot, does that change your thoughts, or would it change your thoughts in game? Are you considering before you check what types of size bets you're willing to call on the river and what size bets you're not willing to call on the river? What if you'd overbet shoved here instead of potted it? All those kinds of things. I think this is a spot where we really can do ourselves a lot of favours by thinking ahead before we check. We have a bluff catcher, so we're probably in a spot where we're going to call or fold on the river. So when you have the bluff catchers, I find it helps immensely to think about, are you going to react differently to different bet sizes? And if you think about that beforehand, and if you are going to bet different bet sizes, it can often help you when you do get put in spots like this, when he does pot it and you're like, shit, you know, I didn't expect him to pot it. It can help you just thinking ahead. So hopefully this hand's give you some thought, some pause for thought in terms of forward planning in hands, and hopefully it's going to lead to some interesting responses on whether we should call or fold to this river bet. I'll post results in a couple of days, just let everyone give a chance to look at it. Probably post results quicker on the forums than I will on the hand. If you want a quick response to what happened, please PM me or ask me on Facebook in a private message or something. There's lots of ways you can get an early result if you want it, but please don't post any spoilers anyway if I do tell you. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed the hand. Hope it's given you some pause for thought, and hopefully we're back soon with another hand. Goodbye for now.